It's Victory Monday, December 30th. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Jet Home Loans. And now, a guy whose favorite resolution is 1080p, J.P. Shadrick.
Welcome in the first hour of Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans. J.P. Shadrick from the Hyundai Studios. We've got a busy 2 hours ahead after a Jaguars win. Only the fourth of the year. 20-13 the final. Mac Jones, Brian Thomas Jr. pacing the offense. The Jaguars defense stopped the presses, got a takeaway, and made a stop when it mattered at the end. We'll keep it real as always. Fanatics fan questions, and we'll go around the National Football League. Well, head coach Doug Peterson, after the game, after the fourth Jaguars victory of the season, relieved.
Found a way to win. Proud of the guys. Just so happy for them and coaching staff, the way these guys hang together. They stick together. There's no quit. They keep fighting. I keep telling them, you never know when the play's coming your way. And when it does, just make it. And you saw at the end there, Antonio Johnson made the play, and you win the game. So there's a lot of good efforts in this game. Defense created a takeaway. Offense was effective and good in the red zone today. Just a good team win.
There's the head coach. We'll hear more from Doug Peterson today. Coming up a little bit later on the show, we welcome in Hall of Fame left tackle Tony Baselli and CBS Sports senior writer Pete Prisco. After a Jaguars win, good afternoon. Hello.
Hey, JP and Pete. I like Doug's comments. But once again, we were a average throw from a average quarterback from going either into overtime or losing on a 2-point conversion once again. Because we had this was not a mental error, just a blown coverage. Okonkwo is running down the sidelines by himself with 20 seconds, 30 seconds left. And if Rudolph makes a good throw, he walks into the end zone.
Yeah, it's terrible. Just terrible.
Walks. Now, and the only reason I bring that up is because when Doug said Antonio Johnson made a great play at the end of the game, he did. But he was in coverage on the one where Okonkwo just goes straight down on a wheel route, and he doesn't run with him.
And the other thing on the one that Antonio Johnson made the play on, if that's a guy with a rifle arm and can step into that throw, it's probably a touchdown too.
Well, not just a rifle arm. How about anticipating and throwing it before he's there?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't.
That was a good.
That's a good play. He made a good play.
Yeah, I don't want to be overly negative. I'm not trying to do that. That's not fair.
You just came into the show saying, "Oh yeah, all that's great." However, they did this.
No, my point is, we dodged the bullet not because we made a play at the end,
but because their
quarterback couldn't complete anything. I mean, he was wide open. Nobody was within 10 yards of him.
That was a how not to on how to play the quarterback position from both sides on Sunday, by the way.
So, JP, I'm not being negative. It's a win. And I said it this morning. I said it last night, and I said it to you when we talked to the UK people. I am happy for Doug Peterson, his staff, every player, Trent Baalke, his whole staff, because those guys worked their tails off all year, and winning is hard in this league. I am happy for them. Congratulations. Doug's right. They made a play at the end. They controlled most of the game. It felt like they were always going to win that game from the start. They did a good job. I'm not taking it away. It just pains me to see another guy running wide open down the sideline in an adequate throw. Wasn't a hard throw. We are either going into overtime or we lose on a 2-point conversion. That's all I'm saying. And
by the way,
if you go Pete, and if you go big picture, the win doesn't help the organization long term. It doesn't mean anything.
That's what I was going to say. It's great for those guys. It's going to be on their resume. Beat Mason Rudolph in week 17 in the rain.
So you know what I mean, Pete. I'm happy because you guys work hard.
Look, everybody tries to win, Tony, but it doesn't mean it. It doesn't mean nothing.
Big picture for the organization, you could argue that was the worst thing that could happen. I mean, because I said this morning. If you were forget about what the season said, Pete, or what the record was this year. Just forget about that. If I told you, would you rather pick 2nd overall or 6th or 7th overall? What would you tell me?
Second.
I want to pick second. Okay. So if the games don't impact and there's not going to be really any carryover because the guy playing quarterback is not going to be a starting quarterback next year. You got a bunch of unknowns. The most important thing is acquiring new assets and better assets for next year, and the way you do that is through the draft.
And number 2 was going to have value. And number 2 was going to have a value. Number 6 has no value.
Right.
Look, the game meant nothing. It was ugly. It was one of the worst things I've watched in a long time. And they won the game. Yippee-yi-yay-you. Good for them. What did matter is some young players played better. You know,
who besides Brian Thomas?
Well, him. That guy's a star. But, I mean, there were other things. What I can't figure out, and we're going to go break it all down, is that's a really, really, really bad offensive line. Where are those rushers?
Now, if you watch, I thought Josh Hines-Allen had a bunch of pressure.
He played his butt off. He played his butt off.
And he was getting held like nobody's business in the first half.
And he kept coming underneath on runs and making play. He played a violent, physical, good football game. I'll give you that. He did.
I thought Trayvon had moments where he got pushed, but they had like their third or fourth right tackle in there, and I was hoping he would just dominate him, and he did.
He did not. Mason Smith had a couple pushes,
but
got blocked a lot. He can't get off a block.
I thought Mason Smith played very good last week. I thought he played good the week before. I didn't think he did much yesterday.
He can't get off. Well, he got the one sack.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a sack.
It was a sack.
It was a sack in the books. He was on the 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and Rudolph, for whatever reason, was trying to run, and he got a hand on him and brought him down for a 1 yard or 2 yard loss.
It's a sack.
I get that, but Pete, let me ask you a question. When you watched that play, did you go, wow?
No, but also there was another play where he pushed the pocket and got into his face in the pass flutter.
Sure.
Look, here's the problem. I think he's a big, strong, physical kid that they can build something with down the road. He just have to learn how to use the tricks of the trade. He doesn't know how to get off a block. He doesn't know how to.
He needs reps, Pete. He needs more reps.
Well, you know what would have been nice if he had gotten some reps in about the first 6 weeks of the season. Maybe by week 16 or 17, he would have been a good player.
Yeah. So, but listen, beating the Titans, Pete. I hate the Titans. I hate them. I'm sorry. I just do.
But that's the JV Titans.
I get
Jaguars
it.
JV team beat the Jaguars, beat the Titans JV team. That's what that is.
I agree, but it's better. I mean, for that day, for that 3 hours or so, it was better than losing. But as soon as you got done and you realize it does not mean anything except for the guys in that locker room and the coaches who coach them, that's why I'm happy with them. But in the big picture, does anyone feel better after the win yesterday?
Yeah, what went well beside Brian Thomas? I mean, you made
we already knew he was good.
Parker Washington.
He made a great catch in the end zone. He got his 2 feet in.
Okay.
Where's Strange?
I thought the protection was good again, Pete.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I thought Anton Harrison did some pretty good things in the run game. Even he was pretty physical in the run game.
Better.
But where's Brenton Strange in the passing game?
I don't think – did he have a target yesterday? Maybe one? If I remember right. JP, what do you have, 1 target or 2 targets?
I'm looking. We've got receiving targets for Brenton Strange. 1 target, no catches.
That's it. That shouldn't happen. That should not happen. I don't get that one. I mean,
yeah.
What do you think? We'll look at it. But the offensive line wasn't awful. I thought they were solid. Nothing great.
It's a tough matchup inside. Jeffrey Simmons and Trevonde, what's his last name?
Devontae Strap. They're tough to block.
They're big. They're big people, physical people.
And I thought Morris has problems with big people.
But I thought we did fine. I thought Mitch much better this week.
He was better this week than he was last week.
He did. The first time we matched up against him, I thought he was overwhelmed. I thought Mitch did a good job this week. But listen, this might be the best Sheriff has played since he's been in Jacksonville.
Why did he go out for like a series?
Shoulder.
Oh, okay. God, he's always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He's a warrior, man.
Gosh, he's tough. And Pete, I think Brandon Sheriff has played good this year.
He's played okay.
I think he's played better as the year's gone on. How about that?
I would agree with you on there. He's played better as the year's gone on, and up until yesterday, Morrison played worse as the year had gone on.
And Ezra, I think Ezra's done a good job.
You know what they didn't do a good job of, and they haven't done a great job of? When the edge crashers, they don't block them very well. Did you know what I mean? Like on those runs, and he tried to get out once and pull, and the guy beat him on the pull. I mean, those things blow up runs, and that happened a lot. One of those, and I can't remember which tight end it was. He had a rough go of it again blocking. Was it? Yeah, I think it was him again.
Goro.
Both.
Well,
I mean, they used Aurora as a fullback essentially in a lot of those things. Yep. What do you think of Van Lanen?
He's a swing tackle. I thought he was fine.
He's a guy. I mean, he's capable of going in and playing a game or two.
This is what you get with Cole Van Lanen. You have the security that you have a swing tackle that if a guy gets hurt during the game or is going to be out 2 or 3 games, you can go win football games with him at either tackle.
Correct. I would agree with that.
I think he's
not awful. He's not good. I think he's better
at right tackle than left tackle.
I would agree.
But he was fine. I mean, he got pushed back a couple times. I mean, Arden Keys is a professional pass rusher. He's a good player. Not great, but a good player. And I thought there was never like when you have a backup in there, Pete, it wasn't like, it wasn't hitting the fan. It wasn't like blowing up in your face. No. It wasn't like, oh my gosh.
It wasn't a spinning top.
Yeah, I mean, I thought like, okay, like good winning football. Like he played good enough to win, and they did.
What about the runners? There's something off there. Something
was weird. It just feels weird.
Well, first off, they bounce. There's a lot of bouncing.
Yeah. Always Travis.
I thought there was a couple times getting north and south.
Yeah.
There's 3 yards.
I don't understand. ETN has changed in completely what he is. He can get those long runs when he pops once in a while, but I think you go from giving up a potential 6-7 yard run to trying to hit that 20, and you end up with none. You know what I mean? I think both of them, and Bixby does it once in a while too.
It's a mystery.
I mean, we'll find out what happens if anything. I mean, if everybody's coming back, same group of people in the building, I definitely think Doug needs to take a step back and look at their run game and what they do and how they do it. And if they're not here, then obviously who knows what's going to happen.
When you say how they do it, why do you think they should change? Get more physical?
It doesn't feel like, well, one, they need to look at the interior of the line. They need to get younger there, more powerful. And maybe Morris and Sheriff have one more year, and that you might have to based on cap numbers. I don't know what their cap numbers are, and I don't even know if they want to play again next year. They're both going to be in their 11th year, and Brandon's been fighting injuries, so we'll wait and see on that. It doesn't feel like the run game doesn't feel like it's married up to the pass. It doesn't feel like there's like a continuity of what they're trying to do. And I think it goes back to what we talked about, Pete, often on this show this year is what's the identity? Who are they? Are they a downhill run team? Are they an inside-out zone team? Are they going to go a lot of duo and push people off the ball and just pound you? Are they going to run gaps? I mean, and now teams, you can do all of those things, but what's your identity?
Okay,
and then you marry your play-action pass game off of that identity.
Well, theirs is always, you block here, you pull around, you block down.
They try to do a lot of. They like the wham game. They like the pin and pull because I think
they're not physical.
My guess is Press Taylor, who's calling plays, does not feel like they're physical enough to line up and just go beat people up.
Correct. And the easiest thing to do is block down, pull around, and block that way. Angle. It's essentially playing. You know that it's the angles. But if the angle doesn't get his guy blocked, then the other guy isn't getting out, and the whole run is blown up. You know what I mean? If the guy's getting pushed back into the backfield, which happens, then you're not getting the puller out and you're having problems to begin with. So, and by the way, Tony, when you grade a play like that, we talk about all these guys grading plays. If the left guard is pulling and the center gets pushed back and the left guard can't get out, and what's the grade on the left guard? Do you give him negative or what? I mean, you can't give him anything.
Incomplete.
Right.
Right.
So, but I think I'm with you on that. I think sometimes you just need to maul people. You just need them. And there's never any moment in the entire season or even the course of any where you just think they're mauling people. When you watch the Lions do a lot of that pulling and everything too. But there's times when you look at them and you go, they're mauling people. You don't see Jacksonville doesn't maul anybody.
Hey, let's come back. We'll get into that a little bit more on how they could maul people in the future. Maybe. If you have an answer for that, we'll get to that.
I don't.
Draft them.
Oh, okay. Well, there's the answer. Coming up a little bit later in the second hour, we've got Fanatics fan questions. We'll keep it real as always. And Jags fans want customized Jaguars furniture for your home. Check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. Zipchair furniture for fans. We're off and running. It's hour one of Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with Hank and Sam from the Ford crew. Today, a new shipment of inventory.
Hank, what's going on?
Another hauler full of new Ford trucks and SUVs, Sam.
So much SUV capability. Is that?
Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 47 years. And a big selection means...
big savings?
Yep, which means...
it's the best time to buy?
Well done, Sam. And time for America to get holiday ready with Ford.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY Industry reported total sales.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game. Looking for the perfect place to host a business trip, corporate group, or social gathering? Look no further than the award-winning Sheraton Jacksonville Hotel, proudly part of the Marriott family of hotels. Centrally located next to the St. John's Town Center off Gate Parkway in JTB, they offer everything you need, whether you're hosting a meeting or just unwinding with friends at the BC Grill and Patio. Discover unmatched comfort and convenience. Visit SheratonJacksonville.com for exclusive game day special rates and book your stay today.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. Open an Everbank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I mean, I just hit that groove, man. I felt like I kind of knew what to expect in those plays coming up. The communication was great. I had my mindset on the first play that they were going to do that, and Foye confirming that only just gave me the cue to just, hey, go make a play. And then that second one, man, that was just I mean, I feel like I was beating them like that all game. Quarterback DBs did a hell of a job in the back end holding up coverages, so that allowed me to sneak in there and, get the sack. And then that third one, Eric called a great game that allowed one of us to be on the movement to see what was happening. So we just put ourselves in good positions to make plays, and can't wait to do that again next week.
Josh Hines Allen, Jaguars defensive end, after yesterday's game, a Jaguars win over the Titans. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Jet Home Loans. And attention, music fans, the 2025 season at Daly's Place is right around the corner. Get ready for Shania Twain, Rod Stewart, Teddy Swims, and so many more. We're just getting started. Head to dailysplace.com for tickets and show information. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, 1010XL AM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube. JP Shadrick with Tony Baselli and Pete Prisco. And the defensive performance yesterday of Josh Hines Allen. He's talking about a sequence there late in the third quarter. We had, the 5-yard tackle for loss on Spears around the left end, who was injured during the play, and then a sack of Rudolph the next play on 2nd and 15, and then the tackle of Okonkwo on the short pass in the middle, forcing a punt. And then the Jaguars go down and score a touchdown to go up 20-10 at that point. So there was that moment he was talking about in the game where he kind of turned on the accelerator a little bit, Pete.
Well, he was play. I think he played well all game. I mean, Tony's right. He plays hard. He plays tough, and I'm with you, Tony. When you look at him, I do think he needs to get back to being a little lighter. I think that's for him next year. I think that's important to get lighter and get a little quicker. But man, he's violent when he takes on the run game. And I think he had a good. He was the one guy that stood out on defense for me. I thought he was. It wasn't like he was blowing by that guy on a constant basis, but it was a good, solid football game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good football player. I thought Trayvon was solid, played fine. I just expected him to do more against their third or whatever number tackle that was. And overall, I thought the defense did what they needed to do.
But I mean, it's hard. How can you evaluate that? It's so hard to defend that team. It's not hard to defend that team.
I agree with that, but Pete, in the last 2 games, they scored 56 points. Against the Jaguars, they scored 6 the first time and 13 the second time.
Yeah, they scored 50. They scored a bunch of garbage points against a Colts team that gave up 4 touchdown passes to Drew Lock on Sunday. Were they playing flag football with the Colts? I watched some of the replay. They didn't even tackle. Yeah, I love Gus Bradley. As a guy, I think he's a great guy. You know that. I have nothing but I think he's in trouble, and I think others are in trouble there too. Look, let's be real. The Jaguars play the Colts this week. The Colts haven't won the division since Andrew Luck was there.
That's right.
I mean, we always point out, and this team is easy to point out the flaws because they've had a bunch of them the last couple of years. But the other teams in the division have tons of them too. Not all of them, including the Texans, by the way.
It's not a good division this year, Pete.
It's awful. If you went through and you took the NFC South, the Bucs are better than the Texans.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And the Falcons are better than the Colts.
Yes.
The Saints and the Panthers better than they're all the same.
The Panthers have the same record as we do. So
yeah. But again, it's just a bad division. This would have been a year to be good in that division. Which
it's not a very good division this year. The Texans have all kinds of flaws. They're not very good. They're going to be one and done in the playoffs.
So yes, to answer your question, Tony, about the defense, they played well. For that. It was for that group, they played well against them. And it was and there were some moments where you look, Monteric Brown is a feisty little guy over there on the corner, makes some plays, but he's limited in what he does, but he plays hard.
Pete, let me ask you a question. Next year, if you had to go into the season with Monteric Brown as your number 2 corner, is that the worst thing?
No.
I don't think so either.
The worst thing is not having big guys.
That's my point. Like I like watching. Like if you took the names and numbers off the jerseys, and you watch Monteric Brown, I think he's a solid corner in this league. He tackles well. He plays hard. He's physical. He's going to be in the right place. I'm not saying he's a one or a great, going to go get you 5 picks or be dominant, but he's a good, solid football player.
He also, I mean, think about it. He took the job of a guy that made a little bit of buck, in free agency. So it's not like he's terrible.
He's competitive. He's a competitor. I like Monteric.
I like that. I like that too. Is the fact that he does compete. You know how I feel about the defensive line. Even we always talk about the offensive line, but like if you're picking 6th, okay, I'm going to say if they were picking 3rd. The 2 quarterbacks.
I'll ask the question, Pete. You're picking 3rd. Would you take Travis Hunter or the D tackle at Michigan?
I'm taking the D tackle out of Michigan.
I think I am too. Now that's saying so. I've watched exactly 1 game of that guy this year against USC where he was very good. So I don't know.
That guy's been good all year. What you saw at USC, that's what you get with him. He's an aggressive, push the pocket, tough, physical guy. You put him. If I take over this team next year, if I was the defensive coordinator or the general manager or the head coach or whoever, I took him. I'm playing him next to Mason Smith, who a good defensive line coach will get him to use his hands and become more of a factor in there. Then you have slim down Josh Allen, slim down Trayvon Walker, and that's my group. And then I'm also going to find some speed somewhere off the edge so I can move Trayvon Walker inside. So my 4 would be that group, and move him around. And then because you're going to be stuck with Armstead, so you bring him in there and let him do his play high, and let somebody block him routine 19 plays a game.
That's not very nice, Pete.
Wow, man.
Well, I mean, he hasn't played very. I mean, am I being critical? Am I being cruel by saying he hasn't played very well?
Well, you are being critical.
But am I being?
You're being accurate.
I don't think he's had a good year.
Now, is there something underlying that we don't know?
I don't know that, but I'll say
Well, early in the year it was, hey, he's coming off a knee, give him a little time, let's work him back in.
He's going to be on the team next year because his cap number is so big, you have no choice.
We talked about this before. Yeah.
We talked about that last time. I would talk to Eric Armstead. Listen, you're going to play 20 snaps a game at 3 technique in sub. So go work on your bet, because this dude has been able to rush the passer in his career in a dominant fashion at times from the 3 technique position.
But he's not even doing that from the 3 technique when he's playing it this year.
I'm just telling you, listen, you have nothing else to worry about. Line up as a 3 technique and go get me 6 sacks next year.
And by the way, the rookie gets out of place and gets blocked 59.
I'm not going to comment.
I mean, he's overwhelmed.
He should not be out there right now.
No. And so, again, but that's what I would do. My 4 would be that. If you can put that 4 on the field and Walker and Allen trim down, get a little quicker, you're gonna be able to rush with 4. And if you can rush with 4, Monteric Brown can play corner if you're getting pass rush with 4.
I don't think Trayvon needs to slim down. I'm fine with Trayvon at his size. He's a big, powerful guy. He's a power rusher. That's what he's going to be. If you slim down, he's never going to be an edge, turn the hips, that's not who he is. And that's okay.
I guess it's not going to, for him, it's okay to be bigger because he's going to go side. A good team will slide him inside on passing downs more.
He's a big, long, physical, you want him to beat the hell out of the tight end and the right tackle and just make their lives miserable.
But Tony, the problem with he's more like Calais Campbell than he is.
Yes.
Right. So
guess what, Pete? If Trayvon Walker averages 10 sacks a year,
which he's half? Is he half away from that now? Isn't he?
Yeah, he's 9.5. If he averages 10 a year, and he's your left end that you move at times to a 3 technique in sub, great. Guess what? You're going to re-sign him. He's going to be here his career.
He's a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but that's why there's no push in the middle. So those guys they don't get any help when it comes to that.
And I'm with you on Josh Hines Allen. Slim him down just a little bit so he can get more of his speed back in on the edge because he has good power too. Like he's a good they're two good football players. Like you don't have to worry. Like good football players.
Okay, here's the other part of that equation. Now, as we're talking a little bit about fixing the team, what if you took a speed rusher?
A possibility. Like
Abdul Carter from Penn State.
I'm not Pete. I'm not against it. I think a lot of that is also dependent on how deep are those positions. Can you get at the top of two a good interior guy? You got to build the interior of that defensive line.
I'm with you. The interior of the defensive line is not good enough, and it hasn't been good enough.
By the way, they got run on by a below-average offensive line with their backup running back yesterday. They gave up 150.
Yeah,
sure did. Sure did. Hey, let's come back. We're going to come back in a moment, guys. We'll get back to the Jaguars mauling on offense conundrum.
Hey, JP, great input on that segment. Thanks for joining in so much.
I'm just glad to be here, guys. Just to lead us to the breaks. That's all I do. I know my role.
Dishing out. He's the point guard. Just dishing.
He's the point guard today.
I'm letting the shooters shoot, man. Shooters shoot. You guys go ahead. Back in a moment. Sign up your furry friend for the Jaguars official four-legged fan club for pets. Presented by Forever Pets Animal Hospital. Your pet will receive access to exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Visit jaguars.com/promotions/four-legged fan club and sign up today. Mauling offensive linemen when we come back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Ranked as the nation's best public university by the Wall Street Journal, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank. Advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense, a rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Andersen. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I played the same way each week, and sometimes that's the NFL. The chips fall a different way, the results fall a different way, but I stick to the same process, and I'm going to do that again this week so we can get another win.
Mac Jones, Jaguars quarterback, 15 of 22 through the air, 174 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 1 to Brian Thomas Jr., 1 to Parker Washington. The 5th best rating in his career, 122.2. Welcome back. It is Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Jet Home Loans. JP Shadrick at the Hyundai Studios. And if you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, you better check out the 2024 Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capability and game-changing tech, you can dominate work, play, and everything in between. Test drive an F-150 at your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I guess you better hurry. There's only 2 days left in 2024. 1010XLAM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube, JP Shadrick with Pete Prisco and Tony Baselli. And earlier, back to the offensive conversation here. That was Mac Jones talking about his preparation each and every week. One more opportunity for him to put something out there for next season, but the conversation earlier was about the offensive line and the run game for the Jaguars. And Travis Etienne yesterday, 15 carries, 49 yards, 3.3 average, along of 15. Bigsby, 11 for 33 yards, 3 yards a carry, and along of 7 in the game. Brian Thomas Jr. had the long rush for the Jaguars on an end around of 18 yards. So the run game just inconsistent again yesterday, guys.
I mean, it's been like that for 3 years. You really would think about it.
Yeah, Tony, when you played, and I'm going to reference this, there were always moments. I'm not talking about the Fred, even before Fred, when you weren't a great team yet, but there were always moments when you ran the football.
Well, 95, we were atrocious at everything.
Bad. Well, there was a bad team.
Including running the ball. We won 4 games just because we were mentally tough because we got the hell beat out of us by Tom.
It was a bad team. But I'm thinking about going back to 96.
96, we didn't run the ball until late.
The second half of the season, Natron got going, and it was when he got going, you sat there and you go, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. When was the last time with a Jacksonville team that you can sit back and go, there it goes, there, that it's just. Yeah. 6, 4, 3, 5, 8.
I mean, maybe 2017 a little bit. They ran it.
Well, if you think about the history of this organization, we start in back half of 96, we started running the ball good with Natron. 97, we went to the zone scheme because
he saw Denver. He saw Denver do it.
Actually, it was 98 when we went to the zone scheme. 97, we ran it. We were okay. We were middle of the pack run team in 97. 97 playoffs, we got rushed for 350 yards against Denver. They beat the hell out of us.
Yeah,
they're still cutting the
fourth quarter, didn't he? Didn't Derek Lavelle have 100 in the fourth quarter against you?
They're still running. And then we put the zone scheme inside outside zone that offseason, and we became 98, 99, and even 2000. We were 98, 99, I think we were number 2 in the league. We were top 5 rush teams. 2000, we were good. And then when Jack got here, you remember the Jack Del Rio teams were built on defense and running the ball with Fred and
the guards were physical always.
They were physical. MJD and Fred ran the ball, and they played great defense with that big defensive line.
Yep.
And then we went through the doldrums. And then in 2017, we drafted
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette, and And we were a run-first team, and partly because we didn't have confidence we could throw it with Blake. And they ran the ball. Their yards per carry weren't great, but they played such good defense that they would just pound you and run it.
And he'd hit some big runs.
Yes.
Yep.
Pittsburgh, what was that, 90 something?
Yeah,
right.
long.
And then in 22, I'm just like, if you go back and look at this team, the history, and when we've made the playoffs, we've had a good run team. We've had a run, we've run the ball well. And had balance because, I know, Pete, you believe the pass game opens up the run game, and I'm not saying you're wrong there. I come up from the other side. If you can control the line of scrimmage and run the ball, you're going to put that defense in a bind with play action pass, and that's where you're going to get your big plays in the pass game. But regardless, you got to control the line of scrimmage. You got to run the ball, and that's something we just haven't done. We were better the back half of 22. We won that nice little run, but if you look at the last 2 years, we have not controlled the line of scrimmage, and we've not run the ball effectively.
They averaged 4.7 in 2022.
They did, and 4.3 in 2027. They've been over 4 in like 18, 19, 20, and 21.
My point, but in 22, the back half is when we started running the ball well.
Yeah, and no, I'm a big believer. You throw to score and you run to win.
Yeah.
I've always said that. You have to, when you need to run, you have to be able to run. And running it helps set up the passing game, but you have to be able to throw it when you need to throw it too. So, look, I think there's never this team. It's been a long time since you sat back and said, "There they go. They're pounding it. They're pounding it." Like for
2017
example,
is the last time that's where you felt that way.
Right? Like the Packers traditionally have not been a pounded team.
They are now with Josh Jacobs.
Of course, and they do it, and they can do it, and so I think they got to. So JP, to answer your question, how do you fix it? They got to get more physical on the offensive line, but more than that, they got to evaluate. Like Tony said, what do they want to do as a run scheme? What do they want to be? Tony, how would you describe, from an offensive lineman standpoint, how would you describe the Lions and the Eagles schemes?
The Eagles are big up front. Obviously, they got Saquon, who's a great back, but they're going to spread you out and then get, more spread you out, less of those tight formations, a lot of shotgun. But they're going to run inside, outside zone, a little bit of some gap scheme stuff in there, and they got a great back, and they're really good up front.
Like when they had Kelsey, he used to pull a lot, and they'd get him out on stuff. And
you look at the Detroit Lions, they're downhill, gap scheme, a lot of duo. We're getting a bunch of doubles, and they got two really good backs that are physical downhill runners. And then they have good complementary football because Jamar Gibbs has the ability also to get out on some of those toss cracks and get outside and really put you in a bind because of his speed and the way he's able to finish. You look at the Green Bay Packers, they're an inside-outside zone scheme. LaFleur comes from the McVay kind of school of thought. That's how they really build their offense off of that inside-outside zone, play action pass, naked.
But even that has evolved to where now those teams are combos. There's no more where you're just one.
No. You got to be able to do both. You got to be able to.
And here's the other thing. I think the duo gap, that stuff, that demoralizes a defense when you're getting doubled and getting run on like.
You want to get two doubles, you get singles outside, and you're just coming downhill and just beating them.
And you can just see them. They're skating to try and stay in there. They're trying to hold the point, and it just demoralizes. And you don't see that with Jacksonville. You just don't.
No, it's just not it's not our makeup right now.
So how does it be okay? Aside from a new staff, which is possible. How do you change that? You got to get bigger, right? You got to get stronger.
Yeah, I think you got to get younger. And I said at the top of the show, I think Brandon Sheriff's had a good year. He's played good football, in my opinion, especially the back half of this year. As the season's gone on, he's gotten better. Mitch Morse is not going to move you, but he's a really good, solid center. Is good getting up to the next level. He's good on double teams. But they're both going into their 11th year. They're older guys. And not that you can't have older guys. You look at the Detroit Lions, Zeitler's their right guard, and he's not exactly, a spring chicken.
But he's played great this year.
Yes. I'm not saying they can't do it, but I also think it's not just the bodies you have there. It's the mentality. It's how you coach it. It's what you demand of people, your expectation. And I just don't think that's the makeup of our team right now. You set the tone of who you are in the offseason with how you work out, how you train, how you practice, how you do camp. I mean, I know Doug probably will disagree with me, and that's fine, because they talked about that this was a hard physical camp. I don't think it was. In my opinion, this was not a physical camp. Anytime, if you're telling me it's a physical camp, and I could give you multiple examples, but the one that's at the top of my head is that when you practice with another team, and the second day of those practices, you decide to go with no pads on, that's not physical. It's just not a physical mentality.
I'm with you. I don't think they're physical.
I don't think you set the tone. So it's not just the people you draft and the body types you get, and in developing young offensive linemen. We've talked about that quite a bit on this show. It's a mentality. It's who you are. It's what you demand as an offensive line coach, as a coordinator, as a head coach, as an organization. It's like, this is who we are.
But, going back to one of your points, though, sometimes when a team throws it around and they're free flowing, you say, okay, well, they're not going to be a physical team, and they're not that team. And you go through history and you look and you say, well, that's not who they were. But the identity, there is no identity. There's no throw it around identity, drive the ball down the field identity on this team, play fast identity on this team. There is no offensive identity at all. Zero. And that's the problem.
That's a big problem.
I tend to agree with you, Pete, but I think you're seeing them throw the ball down the field more because they have confidence in the protection now. Early in the season, I don't think the protection was great, and it's improved through the year. So give those guys credit.
And Brian Thomas has gotten better since early in the season.
No, and he helps, but here's a good question for you two. Early in the year compared to now, I would have said that early in the year the quarterback was being rushed to make decisions. And now I feel like the quarterback is leaving clean pockets for no reason. Those are like if you think, I look at the beginning and the end of the season, if you ask me the last 5 to 6 weeks of this, say since the Detroit debacle, I would say since then, and I'd have to go looking back at every game, but for the most part, the feeling I have right now talking to you guys is this offensive line is protected well, and more times than not, the quarterback has sped himself up and left clean pockets and not hung in there to deliver the ball. Where I would have said in the first part of the season, the quarterback could not sit in there, was being rushed because people in his face and he was getting hit.
Okay, but you've also played in the last 3 games, you've played the Titans, the Raiders without Crosby, and the Titans again, correct?
Okay, you also played the Texans with 2 good defensive ends. They did nothing.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. You played the Jets, who have a good defensive front. They did nothing.
The Titans defensive tackles are really good too.
Pete, I'm not saying they're good teams,
but they're not. But again, Crosby for the Raiders.
You're the one who told me the best pass rushing duo in the NFL are the Texans.
I didn't say that.
Yes.
I did not say that.
Okay, someone said it. Maybe it wasn't
me. He's put words in my mouth.
He's making it up.
But you would argue that those
Crosby,
are 2.
That team stinks with the pass rush.
I didn't say the Raiders. Pete, would you agree though that the 2 ends, Will Anderson and
Neil Hunter are good players.
Neil Hunter are arguably the best duo pass rushers.
They're in the conversation. Yeah.
In the conversation. They did absolutely nothing.
Right. And I'm not arguing with you on Mac Jones leaving clean pockets, by the way, because that's exactly what he's done. I mean, there was a play on Sunday where he had all day, and there was no pressure whatsoever in his face because they kind of ran him all by, and he goes running to almost to the line of scrimmage when all you need to do is stand there and fire a shot into the middle of the field to Jones. He ended up completing the pass, but he made it a much harder play than it had to be. And I'm like, what is he doing? But again,
we got to come back.
Quarterback.
We'll finish this thought on the quarterback and what's left for him with one game to go in his contract. And in this regular season, that's all coming up. And then in the second hour, at the top of the hour, Fanatics fan questions, much more. Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loan.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit DFHSalesEvent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's DFHSalesEvent.com.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with Hank and Sam from the Ford crew. Today, a new shipment of inventory.
Hank, what's going on?
Another hauler full of new Ford trucks and SUVs, Sam.
So much SUV capability. Is that?
Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 47 years. And a big selection means...
Big savings?
Yep, which means...
It's the best time to buy?
Well done, Sam. And time for America to get holiday ready with Ford.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY Industry reported total sales.
Ranked as the nation's best public university by the Wall Street Journal, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit dlcabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
Hey Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a ZipChair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
Welcome back. Final moments of the opening hour of Jaguars Happy Hour. 2 days left in the 2024 calendar year. We're on 1010XL AM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube. JP Shadrick with Pete Prisco and Tony Baselli after a Jaguars win. Jacksonville All Elite Wrestling returns home to Daly's Place for an epic night of professional wrestling. Join us Saturday, January 25th as AEW Collision takes over Daly's Place. Get your tickets while you still can at AEW.com. All right, we've got a few minutes here to expand on this quarterback situation with Mac Jones. One more game to go. What is he next year? Is he a backup in the league, or has he got a chance to start somewhere, Pete?
Are you really asking me
I'm just
that?
asking you a question.
To answer your question, I think he should nestle in and enjoy the fruits and the pay and everything else of the long-term backup in the National Football League, because that's what he's going to be. That's what he is. And there's nothing wrong with that. He was drafted too high, but I think he showed the rest of the NFL that he's a backup quarterback, and that's okay. And he's an okay guy to have around as a backup quarterback, but that's what he is.
Would you bring him back here as a backup, Pete?
What are my other options? And who's the coach? I mean, you don't even know what the staff's going to be, or the system's going to be. You know?
Yeah.
It's tough to tell.
I mean, he hasn't been good. I mean, he can't sugarcoat that.
He had 122 rating on Sunday.
Yeah,
Pete.
5th best career rating, Pete. Come on.
Okay. Bubble screen, flare pass to ETN. What was that gain? Was that not for 30 yards or so on that little dump off to ETN?
Yeah, might have been right. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
I think 18 on the shuffle pass to Brian Thomas Jr.
Right. I mean, it's just, there's no. Do you ever look at him when he throws the football and go, "Oh, he drove that one"? I mean, do you drive the ball? Oh, no. Even the one to Parker Washington in the back of the end zone kind of like sailed and floated a little bit to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Tony's biting his tongue because I'm not killing the kid. He's just a backup in the NFL, and that's okay. He's not a starter, and I think that's become evident.
So, JP, how much time do we have? Because I know we got a break coming up.
We got probably about a minute.
Pete, how many teams next year need a quarterback? Do not have a starting quarterback today.
Giants.
Okay.
Jets, maybe.
Okay.
Tennessee.
Yeah, so I guess here's my question. Let's say Tennessee. Let's say Tennessee ends up with the number 2 overall pick. I have no idea what they're going to end up. Let's just say they do.
And they probably will.
And they go draft Cam Ward.
Right.
Would you bring in, like the Vikings did, Sam Darnold, bring in Mac Jones that can be a veteran?
No.
Hey, let's finish that thought when we come back. Apparently the answer is no.
I mean, Sam Darnold and Mac Jones, their arms aren't close to being the same.
Second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour. When we come back, it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with Hank and Sam from the Ford crew. Today, a new shipment of inventory.
Hank, what's going on?
Another hauler full of new Ford trucks and SUVs, Sam.
So much SUV capability. Is that?
Ford F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 47 years. And a big selection means...
Big savings?
Yep, which means...
It's the best time to buy?
Well done, Sam. And time for America to get holiday ready with Ford.
Based on 1977 to 2023 CY Industry reported total sales.
Are you ready to love how you feel, look, and live in every season? At Elace, we offer more than just luxury med spa treatments. We provide a serene, judgment-free space where you can reconnect with the best version of you. Whether you want to refresh your natural look with Botox or Dysport, pamper yourself with a relaxing hydrofacial, or rejuvenate your complexion with laser resurfacing, our expert team in Jacksonville is here to tailor treatments to your needs. Visit Elace.com today and start your journey to loving yourself.
You love free. And at Ameris Bank, so do we. That's why we're proud to offer worry-free, hassle-free Ameris Bank free checking. Manage your money your way with convenient access to digital, mobile, and telephone banking, all with no monthly service fee or minimum balance requirements. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. For more information or to open an account, visit our local bankers in person or online at amerisbank.com/free checking. Other fees such as overdraft fees may apply. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hey, congratulations, man. We talked about it before the game. We said, hey, guys in uniform, guys not in uniform, guys that are injured, everybody in this locker room, we're going to take that field as one. We did. We come off the field as one victorious. Great job. Congratulations to everybody, man. Congrats. Winning games, losing games in the NFL. You find out it doesn't take a whole lot. It just takes a couple more plays. We talked about it this week. We were the ones that made plays at the end, AJ, right? Yeah. Right there at the end. You just keep battling your tails off. Everybody, all three phases. Congrats, man. Congrats. So hats off. All right, hats off to that. Before we get out of here, we got to get one, man. We got to get it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
That is head coach Doug Peterson in the locker room after the Jaguars win yesterday in Week 17, 20-13 final over the Tennessee Titans. The second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game on 1010XL, AM, Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube. The Jaguars offense did just enough. Mac Jones had 2 touchdown passes, one to Brian Thomas Jr., his 10th of the season receiving, and Parker Washington had the other. And now Brian Thomas Jr., 4th in the league in receiving yardage this year overall. Jaguars defense, yes, they had a takeaway, and yes, they made the stop in the big moment late to seal the game. The Jags now 4-12. And now 5th in the 2025 NFL draft order. And now it's on to Indianapolis for a meaningless football game. The Colts were eliminated from playoff contention with a loss to the Giants yesterday. But the Jaguars look to finish the season with a winning record in the AFC South. Second hour brought to you by Mr. Chubby's. A food option tonight, the Caesar wrap. We had fried mac and cheese bites. Pretzel bites and some kind of fried potato with cheese. It was
How was
really
the
good.
fried mac and cheese bite? Because I know you put your fingers in that one, JP.
I had a couple. They were fantastic.
Are they good? I've never had
really
those. I've always seen them on the menu, and not once have I ever eaten them.
They're like little triangles, and it's got macaroni. Yeah, it's like mac and cheese balls.
It doesn't sound like something that should happen, but I guess it's not bad.
Not bad.
Have you ever had it, Tony?
No.
Yeah, that's so that was the option tonight for our production staff, getting the work done here at the Miller Electric Center after the Jaguars win yesterday. So
did I just hear you say about winning record in a division?
Yeah.
So you really hanging your hat on that?
What else is there to hang the hat on, Pete?
It's like.
Would you rather have a 500 record or a losing record
It
against
doesn't
this
matter.
division? I know.
It doesn't matter. It matters none. It doesn't matter. You're playing out the string. How many guys have their reservations already for Cabo, Cancun,
I tell you
Bahamas,
what, I said
Aruba?
I said this earlier today. This might be the fastest football game of the season.
Well,
bad. I hate to agree with Pete on these type of subjects, but I tend to agree with him. I honestly, if I think about it, I could go back. The year we were 4-12 in '95, I couldn't tell you what our division record is. I didn't really care. It wasn't like, woo, we're 4-12, but we split in the division, which I think we did. We were 3-3 because we beat the Steelers, we beat Cleveland. We were 4-2 in the division. All our division games came.
You carry that over to the next year.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's we roll.
JP, when you start pulling stuff up like that, it means you had a crappy season.
True.
That's the truth. Let me tell you when the division games matter. They matter during the season if you're good, and they matter at the end of the year if it comes down to a tiebreaker. You want to do well in your division so you can win the tiebreaker.
Right, but for a bad team looking back and saying, hey, you could have a winning record in the division, it means nothing. Zero. A, the team stink in the division, and B, you stunk.
And Doug Peterson said it today in his Zoom call with the media. He's like, that means we didn't win enough other games. That's what that means.
That's all it means.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right. That's all it means.
Yeah.
But, like, the Colts were so bad on Sunday, and I haven't watched the tape of that game yet. I will, but there's rumblings that they packed that up and went home too.
I mean, how? You have a chance to be in the playoffs.
Tony, Drew Lock.
Unbelievable. 5 total touchdowns for him.
So maybe there is hope for Mac Jones.
Man.
I haven't watched the tape, but I looked at the yardage. It wasn't like he threw for a bunch of yards. It was like they had
a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yep.
Kickoff return a touchdown. It looked like a couple
big plays.
That no one tackled.
Yeah, they didn't tackle. Nobody tackled. And again, playoffs on the line, and you do that. It makes no sense. And the Giants, the flip side of that is
they're out of
the
number
Giants
one.
now cost themselves a chance as a quarterback, maybe.
Pete, is Chris Ballard, who's been there since 2017, has not won the division yet. Is Ballard and Steichen in trouble?
I think Ballard could be in trouble. He's got a guy in that office, Ed Dodds, who a lot of people think highly of, and the second in command, and so maybe they make a change and give it to him. But the media loves Chris Ballard, and Chris Ballard's a good guy, so you know how that works. When the media loves a guy, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. Like the warm and fuzzy general manager in Jacksonville with the media.
Go back to Chris Ballard.
Yeah, let's go back to Indy.
Tom was always warm and fuzzy too back in the day, wasn't he? Think about some of these guys.
So you think Ballard's in trouble?
I think he can be. And rightfully so. You've had since 2017 to fix it, and you haven't. That's a long time.
Yes.
And how many coaches has he had?
3.
Oof.
You don't get 3 usually.
Well, 3 if you count Jeff Saturday.
Well, he had
Frank Reich.
Isn't there one? Wasn't there one? Didn't he have one right before? No.
I don't think so.
Let me look. I'm going to look.
Yeah, I got
but
you.
Yeah, to answer your question.
Well, Pagano's last year was 17, and then Reich 18 to 22, and then Saturday in 22, and then Steichen.
Yeah, but Pagano wasn't his guy. He's had 3 of his guys.
Yep.
Right. 3 of his guys.
Really 2 of his guys, because Saturday was Irsay gave.
Right.
Right.
When they fired Reich, Irsay came in and said Jeff Saturday's the intern coach. So really, he's had 2. Pete.
Two. But he's been there for 3 coaches. He's been there for 4 actually.
4.
Right. And that roster, you look at it. Do you ever look at their roster and go, "Wow"?
No.
So I think he's in trouble.
And the one I don't understand is drafting Anthony Richardson in the first round last year. I just don't understand that.
In fairness to Anthony Richardson, yes, he wasn't ready. But in fairness to him, it's not like Joe Flacco went in there and lit it up the last couple of times.
No, but Pete, at any point watching, the kid is a phenomenal athlete that can do amazing things.
And he can't pass.
He could not stay on the field at Florida, and he was wildly inaccurate at Florida.
Yep.
He's come to the NFL. He cannot stay on the field, and he is wildly inaccurate. He's not I just didn't understand drafting him in the first round. He's a project.
Right. But
it's a guy you get in the second round, end of first, second, and say, hey, we're going to put him on the bench for 3 years and hope he can learn to play quarterback the right way.
Like Jalen Milroe, if you picked him from Alabama.
That's right. If you're going to pick that kid from Alabama, you park him on the bench for 2 to 3 years behind a veteran and say, you're not playing at all. Right. I don't care if we stink. You're not playing.
Or if he stinks in practice and you make him a tight end because he runs 4.2 something.
whatever. But my point is, so Ballard's made some picks I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't.
One.
I think, yes, if you looked at the body of work, what are their records? JP, you have it right there. What are their records over the course of the since 2017?
I can get that for you.
Besides Saturday year, middle of the pack, right around 500.
All right, 2017, they were 4-12, and that was Pagano's last year.
That's the year Pagano got fired.
That's
so
right.
that's really Ballard just got hired.
Right.
So take 17 out. Go to 18.
Right. 2018, 10-6, lost in the divisional round. 2019, 7-9. 2020, 11-5, lost the wild card game. 2021, 9-8. 2022, 4-12. 2023, 9-8. 2024, 7-9.
So they're about 500.
Yeah.
They're a 500 club under them.
Yeah, 500. And they haven't won a playoff game, right? Under them.
They've lost both. They haven't won a playoff game since the Super Bowl. They've lost every playoff game. Oh, no, I take that back.
No, Andrew Luck won a playoff.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Andrew Luck
apologies.
won.
Yep.
But the bottom line is they should be in trouble. You know how this league is. Guys get comfortable with guys, and they keep them around.
I don't think Shane Steichen should be in trouble.
Wink, wink.
Why do you always laugh so hard after you say something
Because I love seeing Vaselli's face.
I mean, it is like it's the one thing that makes you laugh like crazy.
You say things without saying it. So
I said my face said nothing there. I was laughing at you.
Just poker face over here.
Listen, he's winking is because the big question, and let's just call it what it is. I'm not going to weigh in one way or another. But all the fans listening to us right now want to know what is going to happen the Monday after the Colts game. Is Sean?
Not only that, they don't want to have. They want to see it happen. They put a banner. They paid to put a banner up on a plane. They want it to happen.
My point. They want change, and so
here's how you know they want change, Tony. The 15,000 people who were actually sitting in the seats. That's how you know they want change. If I'm Shad Khan and I'm looking at that, and I say, wow, this is bad. This is really bad. The interest isn't there at all. There's been some bad Jaguar teams late in the season where they haven't had crowds like that. And I know it was raining, and God knows I probably wouldn't have gone and sat through that if I was a Jaguar season ticket holder. But come on. That's got to be a slap in the face to the organization to wake up. I mean, something has to be done, and you understand why the fans are angry about it. They have a right to be angry about it.
The fans have every right. They paid their hard-earned money.
Well, they've sent their message. Their message has been sent.
Agreed, Pete. I agree with you. And the fans we have great fans. They have every right to be loud and share their opinion and be mad and angry, like all rightfully so. Now, does that mean that there's going to be change? Just because you want something doesn't mean you always get it.
Well, and I think that Shad to operate like if there is going to be change, is he one to do it right away? Is he one to wait? Is he one to I mean, personally, if you were a fan out there, you want that done as soon as possible so you can get on with it. If you're going to do it, do it. Right. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Do it. Don't come back a week from later and say, well, we made a decision now. Do it right away and get on with it. Whether you're going to fire the coach or whatever you're going to do, keep them, whatever. Just say it. Just do it. The uncertainty, I think, is what's driving people in town crazy, I would imagine.
Just because they've been out of it for so long in this season. It's just been a slow grind to the end, and that's been hanging in the air the whole time.
JP, we just went through the Colts record since 2017. If you did it the same way here, go through that one, and then you look at the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
17 we were 10-6.
Correct, and division champs.
Two
so
playoff win.
Yep, that's right, and lost in the conference championship game. 2018, 5-11. 2019, 6-10. 2020, 1-15, and they ran off Marone after that.
It's worse.
2021, 3-14. Of course, the Urban Meyer year, and Bevel was the interim. 2022, 9-8, rallied in December, and then won a wild card game. 2023, 9-8, started 8-3, and then this year 4-12.
It's worse. It's worse. That body of work is worse. I mean, I just look. I'm not sitting here saying this guy should be fired or that guy should be fired. But if you put the work up and you just say, here, Shad, take a peek. Now take a look at these teams and take a look at those teams. It's kind of slaps you in the face. And then look at your crowd from Sunday. I mean, that's money. You know, concessions and parking and that's money. That's out the window. It's gone. It's never coming back. It's gone. It flew away because your team is bad. It's gone. That money will never be made up.
You said something I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You think it's the unknown that's driving the fans crazy?
Well, no.
I disagree with that. I don't think.
No, they want the known. We know what they want. They want them gone.
Yeah.
Based on my X feed and what is said to me consistently in the community, I think it's a resounding, unanimous voice that wants change. And so I don't think it's the unknown that is driving people crazy. I think it's the fact that we had the season we had. I think it also compounds over what you just read through, JP.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are like, come on, this is ridiculous. And I'm not weighing in and giving my opinion. That's what I hear from the fans. That's why I disagree with you, Pete. I don't think it's the unknown. I think it's the frustration.
Okay. Yes, you're right. They're frustrated. They're angry. And look, I'm not sitting here and because it's not my decision to make and it's not me to push somebody to do it. But I'll be honest with you, if I was the owner of that team, put me in as the owner of that team.
You can't afford it,
no,
Pete.
No, I can't. But I'm going to say I won that $1 million pot, that $1 billion lottery. I
still wouldn't afford it. No.
But okay, say I'm the guy that made the bumpers. Okay, I made bumpers. I'm the bumper maker.
Ooh, do I trust those bumpers? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the bumper maker. So I make bumpers. What I'm doing, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm installing somebody at a VP, executive vice president of football operations level. Then underneath, I'm having a new general manager who is going to be my football guy. And he's going to hire his coach. That's what I would do. Not based on anything other than proof is in the pudding. And I have a quarterback who's being paid $250 million, $250 million. And that job of those three men right there, their sole job is to make that guy like the Lions made Jared Goff. Turn him around, make him a star, make him a guy you can go to Super Bowls with. Build it around him. That's what they need to do.
Is the one voice in that scenario at the top the one that talks to the owner only, or reports directly to the owner, the VP?
Yeah, I think the VP has to report to the owner, and there's a lot. And talking to people more and more, I talk to the GGMs I do talk to. There's so much crap that goes on above you that you probably can't focus on the football stuff below you enough. And I think that's where the misses are. I think in this league, and it's not just in this organization, in this league, you need that guy to handle, this guy didn't get enough tickets. This guy's, was out too late and got a citation that we want nobody to find out. The business side of things, dealing with this part of the company. Then this guy handles all the football, and he's just a football grunt. He hires good scouts. He believes in them. He listens to them. He wants to hear their debate. He doesn't get standoffish and upset when they come back at him and say, I don't agree with you. What he does when they don't agree with him, he goes back and he watches more tape, and he comes back and he goes, you're right. You jarred my memory. You jarred my mind. I believe in that. Now I'm going to go back and even watch more tape on him. That's what the organization should be. And you hire a coach you can work with and not have egos get in the way of any of it. Eventually it will, but at the start it can't. It can't have egos getting in the way of it.
There you have it. We will call that keeping it real for the day.
I built bumpers. I just built all the bumpers. I'm the bumper guy.
I ain't driving a car with your bumpers on it. No chance.
Neither would I, by the way.
No way. I'll walk. Thanks. Back with Keeping It Real, presented by Pete's Bumper Company. We're back in a moment, and we'll get Fanatics fan questions. A little later around the NFL, double dose of that tonight is Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with Everbank. Open an Everbank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. Everbank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Looking for the perfect place to host a business trip, corporate group, or social gathering? Look no further than the award-winning Sheraton Jacksonville Hotel, proudly part of the Marriott family of hotels. Centrally located next to the St. John's Town Center off Gate Parkway in JTB, they offer everything you need, whether you're hosting a meeting or just unwinding with friends at the BC Grill and Patio. Discover unmatched comfort and convenience. Visit SheratonJacksonville.com for exclusive game day special rates and book your stay today.
I know there were some mistakes made, in game. There were mistakes made by coaches in game. So everybody has a hand in that, and those are things that we can, learn from and fix moving forward. I think just, from my standpoint as the head coach, I think too, you got to keep educating your players. You got to keep talking to your players. You got to, in the off season, you got to put them in these situations. You got to put them in different scenarios throughout training camp, and really, teach them and understand that everything that we do matters. I think yesterday is a great example of that.
That's head coach Doug Peterson asked why the pendulum swung the wrong way the last season and a half, and part of his answer there. The rest of it at Jaguars.com and Jaguars YouTube. Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Baselli after a Jaguars win yesterday over the Tennessee Titans. Jags now 4-12. And time now for the Fanatics fan questions. Jaguars fans, gear up at fanatics.com with all the latest Jag styles. Shop now and get today's special offer at fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything. We put the cat call out on X. Here's the best we've come up with today at Lake City Jag. Do you think Mac Jones listened to the show last week? From what I saw, he had a much better day, and it didn't appear that he was leaving too many clean pockets. Didn't we go through this earlier?
I don't know what that guy was watching.
Move on. Next question.
Okay. Next question. Fanatics fan questions off to a rousing start. At Biscuit Baker 4. On Hard Knocks, Joe Burrow asked his O-lineman if playing their position is fun and got an interesting answer. Was playing fun for Tony?
Playing offensive line's hard. It's a tough position. It's unforgiving because, unfortunately, you're judged a lot of times on not your success, but your mistakes. So it's not, and it's a grind in practice. It's a hard position to play. But the output and the result when you win, there's not many better feelings. Like, it's a lot of fun. And when you're dominating a game and you're dominating an individual and you can control what that guy does or doesn't do, there's not many more things that are more fun than that. Like, just controlling the game and just moving the ball and watching Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith, James Stewart, Natron Means, like, running by you, and you're like that is so much fun. Now, the process in the middle of it, it's stressful. It's not always like, woohoo, this is like playing golf or something. But I've yet to find a feeling in my life of joy, excitement, competitiveness, like just adrenaline, than dominating an individual and winning a football game. And knowing that if nobody else knows, the other four guys on the offensive line, that entire offense knows that was the five guys up front that got it done for us. Like, there's just not a better feeling than that.
But it really is a thankless job, because you can win, like you always say, you can win every battle and lose one, and it stands out and could cause a sack fumble, and then everybody blames you, and it's such a hard position to play, because you're waiting for this fast athletic guy to come at you while you're trying to keep him from going around you or through you. I mean, it's brutal, and it's thankless, and it's tough, and it's the hardest job to master, I think, in the NFL. And it's so hard to find them. So like, usually lines stink.
Like, I think back on my career from SC through the Jaguars, there were many a time I played a game, and like Pete said, I'd have one or two bad plays. We'd win the game. I'd be excited we won. It was great. I would lay in bed, and all I could think about was the two plays. That's not fun.
The winning of anything is never, that feeling of winning at anything is never as bad as the losing feeling. The losing feeling is much worse than the winning feeling is good.
Like, I probably hated losing more than I loved winning. I hated losing.
Well, you grew up in a competitive environment, like I did. I mean, we competed over who changed the channel, right? Yeah. So you grow up competing that way. It's different.
So, I love what I did. I miss it. I mean, Pete knows this. We've talked about this. Like, I still go smell the grass before the game, and like that feeling of the thought of the anxiety and the nerves of going out in a big game and knowing, like, it's just like, I miss that. And the like walking off after you've dominated somebody and you win. Oh my gosh. There's like, the feeling is like tremendous because this is the other thing about this position. Not just what you do, it's what you do as a group. Like, it is like the ultimate team. Football is the ultimate team sport, and offensive line is like the ultimate team position. Because you're
nobody. Yeah, right. Nobody else does what they do if you don't do what you do.
Everyone's dependent on us.
Right.
But is all fun? Practice. Like you talk about picking a position that is the worst position to practice known to mankind.
It's awful.
It's offensive line. It's awful. Like the drills, it's like torture.
You're just hitting each other all day long. Like that's.
And JP.
Well, they used to.
Oh yeah, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's always physical.
JP, if they gave me a pill right now that could reverse like the injuries and just said, listen, this might take a couple years off your life, but you're going to be able to go play one more season, sign me up. I'm in.
Well, you got
it's glorious. There's like nothing better. I love the game of football, and that's why. I mean, like, I love the organization. I love the game. So I guess with the question, back to the question, is it fun? I don't know if it's fun or not, but do I love it? Absolutely.
By the way, Pete, did you notice that, and I just noticed this, when we have the 2-shot of you and Tony up there, he moved his bust behind him to fit the shot this week. It was further left earlier.
It was on an angle
It was further left last week.
True. Hold on.
It was further left.
Check. I have not touched that bust in a year. It has been the same position for 1 year. It has not been touched.
Then you've moved the camera or your desk or something.
I haven't moved anything.
It's much more prominently featured than it was a week ago.
Correct. We can go back and watch the tape if you want.
And by the way, what is that, like an imitation of the one at Canton? Did they give you a second one? They give you a second one?
So the one in Canton is bronze, and this is the clay that they harden. So they make the original is the bronze. It stays in the obviously in the Hall of Fame in the bust room. This is the exact same, looks the same exact bust, just different. It's not finished with bronze. It's just the clay, hard clay.
You know, one thing not pointing out yours, but those busts usually don't look like the guys.
Mine, like, it doesn't. I mean, I'm obviously a lot skinnier and have aged because the way they do it, which I love, they ask you which version of you from what era when you played, do they want the bust up? So I picked, I think it was like year 3, I think. There was a picture, and they gave me options, and I picked one. And,
I did something. I told you. I think I told you this. So I did the best Italians of all time.
Yeah.
In the NFL, and they wanted me to get a picture. And it was me and you standing there at the bus. Remember those pictures you took?
Yep.
Yeah, we were both larger at that time.
Yes. And, I mean, good segue before we go to break. And we didn't answer for many questions. Maybe we should come back and answer more questions next segment, but anyway, whatever. Freddie T, Pete, finalist again.
This is the year he has a chance.
Yeah, I agree. Only running back as a finalist. I think he has a real chance. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And I was talking to someone, Pete, I love your take on this, because Eli Manning's up for the Hall of Fame. Obviously, arguably one of the greatest playoff Super Bowl quarterbacks ever. And I'm not like I don't weigh in on whether I think guys should be in or not. It's not my position. Eli Manning, amazing player, but like the big knock against Fred's always been only one Pro Bowl, was never all pro, blah 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 blah. How many all pro teams was Eli Manning on? That'd be 0.
Right. But okay, but Fred's different and that's even worse for Eli Manning because he played in New York.
But my point is, Pete, is if Eli Manning, and everyone I've talked to believes that Eli Manning will be in the Hall of Fame, whether it's the first ballot or not, I have no idea.
Yeah, he'll get in.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. Eli Manning's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
But don't tell me Fred Taylor is not a Hall of Fame player because of Pro Bowls or All Pros selections. You have to look at the market. Go turn on the tape. Go look at the yards per carry. Go actually study his career. Don't tell me his touchdown numbers are low. Why? Because Tom Coughlin took him out on the goal line. He had 16 touchdowns when he was our only back as a rookie because James Stewart got hurt. If Fred Taylor, who did all the work to get us down there, would have been kept in, but what happened? is when James came back, James was our short yardage goal line back. So Fred
But
would get
didn't James have 5 in one game?
5 against Philly.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. Fred, this is the best chance, I think, that of all the times Fred's been up for him to get in. The class isn't great. And don't get me wrong, I think he should be in automatically. You know that. You know how I feel about him. But this class isn't great. So I think he has a real shot.
And by the way,
I disagree. I agree with you. He has a real shot. I think he has a great chance to get in. I always laugh when people say it's not a great class. Like, what do you mean? Not big names? Like, you're telling me
not
that
big names, but for example, okay.
Terrell Suggs, great.
Okay, as good as there's 3 Sun Devils, by the way, on that finalist list. But as great as he wasn't as good at his position as Fred Taylor was at his.
I would agree with you.
Right. That's how I judge him.
But Terrell Suggs played in Baltimore, all-time defenses. You know, I mean, he wasn't on the early great, but the Ravens always have good defenses. He was part of it. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, dominant defensive end.
The receivers will eat each other up, so they're not only one of those will go in.
Antonio, I don't know how he didn't get in.
I don't know how he didn't get in last year. He should have been in right away.
Tight ends never play the game.
Right, he should have been in right away. But he'll be one of them. Then you got to look at, like, what do you do with Kuechly?
Shorter career, you're right.
Yeah, but Tony had a short career, and he got. Yeah. And if you're great, you're great. Yeah. Willis had a short career, and he got.
Well, I hope Luke doesn't have to wait. I hope Luke doesn't have to be a finalist 6 times.
No, we know how that game plays out. But I think this is a great chance for Fred. And
Fred Taylor listen. I'm just going to say it, and I can say it. He's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
he is, no doubt. I wrote a nice letter to a bunch of voters that last year, and I sent it back out to them. That I think don't know how great he was with all the stats and data and everything else. But more than that, go talk to the players and go watch the tape. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And I'll give you more. Go talk to the coaches. Call Bill Cowher, who had to play him twice a year, and ask Bill Cowher what he thought about Fred Taylor. Go call Tony Dungy and ask him what he thought about Fred Taylor.
Well, that's yeah, you're right. That's like, I'll give you another one, Tony. Tiki Barber was in that room. They were against each other for a while, and the New York block people were always, Tiki over Fred Taylor. I go, really? Go privately ask Tom Coughlin who he thought was better. Not to slight Tiki, but if you ask Tom Coughlin, it's not even – come on, give me a break.
By the way, and final thought on this, we got to take a timeout. The only 2 players above Fred Taylor in career yardage not in the Hall yet, Frank Gore and Adrian Peterson, and they'll be eligible soon. So the time is
Peterson
now.
Will be in automatically, and Frank Gore will get in, but Fred Taylor was a better back than Frank Gore.
Listen, I'm taking nothing away from Frank Gore at all. Amazing career. What he did, amazing. If you ask 32 GMs, if you had to choose one back over a 5-year period to be your bell cow back, Frank Gore or Fred Taylor, who are you taking?
They take Fred Taylor.
I think they all take Fred Taylor. And that's not a slight against Frank Gore. What Frank Gore did, he's one of the all-time great players in this league, and I loved how he played the game, his physicality. He was a grinder. He was awesome. Nothing against him. I'm just making a pitch for my good friend and teammate who deserves to be in the damn Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And he is a heck of a player. He did things I've never seen on the football field before. It's unreal. At 230 pounds, running 4.29 and making cuts in the line of scrimmage that had no business being made by a man that size. Give me a break. The guy is amazing, and I hope he's there. And I hope I don't want to say more than anything. I got a lot of hopes, but right at the top of the list is that next August, the first weekend in August, that I'll be celebrating Fred Taylor as he goes into the Hall of Fame. That's my hope.
Me too.
Let's come back, guys. We got to go around the NFL. Thanks for the Fanatics fan question submissions tonight. PRI Productions, the Southeast full-service event company, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com and learn more. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Brooks Rehabilitation is proud to be the official rehabilitation partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are here for them, and we are here for you. Ranked #1 physical rehabilitation hospital in Florida by U.S. News and World Report, our playbook is individualized treatment and exceptional care to get you back to living your life. Brooks has cutting-edge technology and therapy solutions in every care setting, treating sports injury, orthopedics, brain, spinal injuries, and more. Go beyond your expectations with Brooks Rehabilitation.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit dlcabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
Hey Jags fans, stop dreaming of creating your game day fan cave and build the Jaguars den of your dreams with ZipChair. When it comes to maximum comfort, ZipChair.com is the only place for officially licensed Jaguars recliners, sofas, bar stools, office and gaming chairs, all featuring high-quality embroidered Jags logos. Crack open a few cold ones in the comfort of a ZipChair and make your home the place to be on game day. Head over to ZipChair.com and save 20% today. Use code JagsRadio at checkout. ZipChair.com, furniture for fans.
Welcome back. It is Jaguars Happy Hour, the second hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Baselli. After a Jags win, Week 17, 4-12 record, on to Indianapolis. The Jaguars and the Colts this coming Sunday at 1 o'clock. That's what happens when both teams are out of the race. In the last week of the season, the scheduling puts the Jaguars early, 1 o'clock Sunday, and get them out of the way. Let's go around the National Football League and a lengthy Week 17. It started on Christmas Day, Wednesday, in Pittsburgh, where the Chiefs knocked off the Steelers 29-10. Russell Wilson didn't look great that day. Travis Kelce got his touchdown to surpass Tony Gonzalez, and the Chiefs just keep on rolling. They are the number 1 seed in the AFC, Pete.
And you know what? They're getting right at the right time. I mean, they get Hollywood Brown back. He helps open up Worthy. Worthy helps open up the other guys, Kelce and Hopkins, because they're not guys who can run. And Tooney moving from left guard to left tackle has been big for them. And so I think they're getting right at the right time. They're going to rest guys this week. Here's the other thing, though, Tony. You know they don't want Joe Burrow in the Bengals in the playoffs. So if the Broncos win, the Broncos get in. So they're resting guys anyways.
They're going to rest them anyways. I think they'll go give a great effort. I still think they can beat the Broncos with Carson Wentz just because.
I agree.
You only can rest so many guys. You only have, 53 on the roster. So, you're going to have a lot of starters out there. Now, Mahomes and Kelsey and some of those guys obviously are going to
Chris
get a rest.
Jones won't play because he's been hurt.
Yeah.
Pacheco probably won't play. But, yeah, you're right. You got to play guys.
You got to play guys. And, I mean, listen, AFC goes through Kansas City. They're the best team. And, I mean, stepping back and looking at, I think listen, the Ravens could win. They're playing out of their minds right now, and they've gotten right on defense. The Texans have no chance. The Steelers have no chance. I don't think the Chargers have any chance, and the Broncos have no chance. If the Dolphins get in, I don't think they have a chance. The Bengals could get because of Joe Burrow. The reality is, I think it's down to 3 teams in the AFC. It's going to be Kansas City, Buffalo, or the Ravens, and I think Buffalo has the best chance to go beat Kansas City in Kansas City.
And if you're looking for the long shot team of the ones you mentioned, that if the Bengals don't get in, it would be the Chargers.
I don't think they can beat. I don't think they're ready to beat.
No, but there's always a surprise. I mean, you guys were once a surprise team. There's always a surprise team in the postseason.
Without a doubt. And to your point, the way Jim Harbaugh plays and the way he coaches and the physicality and the mentality that group has, I just think they're a year away from beefing up that defense.
I'm with you. I don't. I mean, but of the Steelers, the Broncos, the Dolphins, and the Texans, you would take the Chargers over those teams.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think if my guess is it's going to be Buffalo, Kansas City.
Buffalo, Baltimore at Kansas City.
I think it's Buffalo.
I do too. I think he's on a mission.
He's on a heater right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. Ravens over the Texans on Christmas Day. Later in the day, 31-2, the final score.
Texans aren't very good right now.
No.
And the quarterback's struggling, and the offensive line is struggling. This is not a good team right now.
They said they're playing guys because they need to play better this week. So
I don't want to discount the Ravens. I mean, I said I think the Ravens are rounding into form right now, and they moved Kyle Hamilton back to free safety a number of weeks ago, and that defense is night and day difference. He's a really good player, and Lamar Jackson is the scariest human on the planet when it comes to being on a football field. And if they get hot, and he's playing hot football, they could go beat Kansas City, and they might.
Does his playoff pass worry you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And with a win on Saturday, they would secure the division title in the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens or Steelers lost.
But don't you think, because Lamar is such a good player, and he very may well win the MVP again this year. He's just, what he does.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But if you're going to give him the MVP, you got an MVP candidate in his backfield too.
I agree, and I think the addition of Derrick Henry to that team, and I just think at some point Lamar Jackson's is going to continue the hot play as in the regular season to the playoffs. He has not done it yet, but at some point he's going to. He's too good of a player,
right?
And I think he's going to get to a Super Bowl, at least one, and have a chance to win it. And maybe this is the year.
Do they rush the passer well enough? That's the concern there with them.
Yeah.
Thursday, Seahawks over the Bears, 6-3, barn burner. Yikes.
Seahawks are eliminated. They're done. They folded down the stretch.
There you go. Saturday, 3 games. Chargers blasted the Patriots 40-7, and the Bengals Broncos.
Is Gerard Mayo going to get fired?
No, he's not.
The Bengals.
They have the number 1 overall pick now, right?
They do as of right now. Absolutely.
It's leverage, baby.
The Bengals over the Broncos, 30-24, wild one, and then
that was a fun game.
Yeah,
great game, and I give Sean Payton a ton of credit. They're a year ahead. What he's doing with that handicapped salary cap that he has hanging around his not handicap, but that big weight hanging around his neck.
The albatross.
Yep. They've done a great job. They're a fun team.
He's done a great job with the quarterback because the quarterback, he leaves a lot of clean pockets, and he makes plays outside the pocket, but he leaves a lot of clean ones.
Yeah, Pete, I don't think they're going to do much in the playoffs if they do get there. But Sean Payton's done a hell of a job.
No, but what's funny though, Tony, you watch their team play because they get so many sacks. That team gets it. Zach Allen was there for whoever wanted him. He gets interior pressure all the time. What do
you think about Would you have gone for 2 at the end of the game there, try to win it?
No, because he if he gets a tie, he's in.
Yeah.
Right.
Tie's good for him.
I was fine with it.
No, I would not have. I would have kicked.
Yeah.
Rams beat the Cardinals 13-9.
They haven't looked right, by the way. Last 3 games, they're not scoring points. You know what's starting to show up with the Rams? They don't have guys who can run. They're not fast. And you know how as good as Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp doesn't look like the same guy last week, as good as they are, you got to have somebody that can scare you down the field, or else they start sitting on everything. It's going to be a problem for
them.
them.
What? Give Les Snead credit, because what they've done in that defense, they got 4 pass rushers who are young and good.
And young secondary players, too.
Yep.
Let's get through the rest of the games. Raiders over the Saints. Who cares? Giants over the Colts. 45-33. Wild win there with the Giants losing the number 1 pick. The Eagles over the Cowboys. 41-3. Would you play Saquon to get the record 101 yards away from the single-season record?
No, I would not.
Tony.
What's the point?
I don't think I would either.
Because, okay, and I had this debate with my guys the other day. I was saying, I'm sitting Lane Johnson and Mailata aren't playing. Why would Lane Johnson, if you lose him, your team's in you've seen their numbers go down when he's not in the lineup. I'm not playing him. So I'm not playing Barkley. I'm not playing Hurts. I'm not playing him.
If they could have gone for the record this week. They pulled him out.
Hey, Pete, what if Barkley, Lane Johnson, and Mailata all came to you as the head coach, says, we want to play, we want to go get the record?
I'd probably still not play him.
Yeah.
I mean, if Barkley goes down, that changes the whole dynamic of that team. Super Bowls are what you're playing for. You want the accolades, but you went for over 2,000. That's a great season in itself. Is breaking the record any make it that much greater? It doesn't. I mean, okay, you may be the record holder, but big deal. Plus, you're not doing it. You look at some of those guys who had over 2,000 yards. OJ did it in 14 games.
That's right.
You know, it'd be an interesting question for Eric Dickerson. Would you trade the all-time rushing title, single-season rushing title for a Super Bowl?
I bet he'd say yes.
Yeah.
I bet he would. Bucks over the Panthers 48-14. The Dolphins beat the Browns 20-3. Vikings over the Packers 27-25. And then, boy, last night's game, Commanders in overtime over the Falcons 30-24. Jaden Daniels is an incredible watch on television. He's fantastic.
He's great. He's everything I thought he would be and more. Yeah, like I've said, I think he's the most improved player I've ever seen in my life in terms of the scouting process starting and where he is now. Because when he was at ASU, he was as average as they come. Average. Got better, worked at it, and you know all the talk about first one in and last one out? That's what he was at LSU. And that's why Neighbors was that at LSU, and that's why Brian Thomas became that at LSU. And so, I love everything he's done. They're dangerous because of him. They'll be dangerous in the postseason because of him.
And let me tell you what, Dan Quinn's a hell of a coach. He's proven it. He
just gets it. He just gets it.
He did it in Atlanta, had all kinds of success. Should have won a Super Bowl if he would have just took 3 knees. I mean, just run the clock.
I've argued that with Mike McDaniel back in the day about it too.
And obviously great defensive coordinator, proved that at Dallas, and he gets to the Commanders and year 1 with a rookie quarterback there in the playoffs. And tell me the last time, I can't remember, it's been a while, that that FedEx Field or whatever it's called now was packed to the brim with the place just rocking. I mean,
it's amazing.
It was amazing. And kudos to obviously, the whole organization, but you got to give a lot of credit to Dan Quinn and what he's done.
And by the way, Michael Penix, if you're the Falcons, you come out of that game thinking, because that was his first road start, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, I got my guy.
Yeah.
Let's come back in a moment. Our final thoughts. We'll take a look at Week 18, and we'll wrap it up. What a day it's been after Jaguars victory. Victory Monday. And it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
Are you ready to love how you feel, look, and live in every season? At Elace, we offer more than just luxury med spa treatments. We provide a serene, judgment-free space where you can reconnect with the best version of you. Whether you want to refresh your natural look with Botox or Dysport, pamper yourself with a relaxing hydrofacial, or rejuvenate your complexion with laser resurfacing, our expert team in Jacksonville is here to tailor treatments to your needs. Visit Elace.com today and start your journey to loving yourself.
You love free, and at Ameris Bank, so do we. That's why we're proud to offer worry-free, hassle-free Ameris Bank free checking. Manage your money your way with convenient access to digital, mobile, and telephone banking, all with no monthly service fee or minimum balance requirements. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. For more information or to open an account, visit our local bankers in person or online at amerisbank.com/free checking. Other fees such as overdraft fees may apply. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Welcome back. Final moments of Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings. JP Shadrick at the Hyundai Studios. And for 11 years, Dreamfinders Homes has been proud to call themselves the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all the available inventory. And go Jags. Pete Prisco, Tony Vaselli joining us. And, hey, there's one game left in Week 17. It's Monday Night Football. The 13-2 Detroit Lions have a huge division title matchup and battle for the number one seed next week against Minnesota. This week they're in Santa Clara against the 6-9 49ers. Who you got?
The 49ers are down their first team left tackle, Trent Williams, their second team left tackle. They got a guy signed off the practice squad, and I think it might be Andy Heck's son. And so the right tackle's out. I'll take the Niners. I'll think they'll show some pride in this game.
Wow.
What are the Lions really playing for?
Right.
Well, Dan Campbell said they're playing to win, and I think they go out and play to win. I think they play all their starters. Maybe rest guys late if it gets out of hand either way. But I think the Lions win. But the real game, what matters is next week. I'm glad we're playing at 1 p.m., JP. So I think we'll get home in time to at least see the last three quarters of that game.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's the last game of the regular season.
Well, you know what? The real game is Wednesday.
A-State.
Oh yeah.
I'm worried about that game. You know why, Tony? They're big, Texas. They're big.
Yes, they are. Are you going to go up to Atlanta, Pete?
I'm going.
You are. You're going to be there.
I'm going.
You
Yeah, I'll be there.
tailgating the whole deal?
I'm going. I'll be there.
All right.
Are you sitting in the press?
No, I got seats.
Oh, wow. Get your pom-poms ready. That's what you're going to do.
I am. Me and my wife are going. It's going to be fun.
That's awesome. Good for you, Pete.
When was the last time you actually went to a football game as a fan?
I saw ASU play at Georgia years ago in the rain. It was miserable. It was raining the whole game, and it was actually close. It was when I was going to games, and I got up the next morning and made it to Cincinnati for a 1 p.m. kick, if you can believe that. I said to myself, I'll never do that again.
That's
but
amazing.
yeah, I did.
Well,
It's funny because I'm there. I went to Georgia. It was at Georgia. Then I'm going to be in Georgia for this one. Then I'll be back in Georgia for the national championship when they're playing there.
There you go. Listen to this guy. That's Pete Briscoe. Confident as always. Tony Baselli. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to Joe Fortunato, Brent Reaver, David Cho, Brooke Hopfee, our entire crew. Thanks for listening. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Mr. Chubby's Wings.